All right, so I had to do a part two. I thought we were done with Stephanie Murphy. She's Doug Benefield's attorney. I thought we were done with her. And there was a turn of events. So the defense got up and asked Mrs. Murphy if she agreed with the state's claim that Ashley intended to kill her husband, Douglas Benefield, because there was an upcoming hearing 3 days later after his death on the 27th. Apparently there was a hearing September 30th of 2020 where a Dr. Berter was supposed to reveal some psychological testing that was done on Ashley. So I think that's what they were getting at, but I feel like a lot of the bits and pieces, the in between, is missing, because I thought that's what I heard. Dr. Berter was supposed to present the psychological evaluation results, and so the motive for Ashley ending Doug's life is she didn't want whatever that the results were to be revealed. That's what the state is claiming, and attorney Murphy agreed with it. So interesting. I didn't know about that. I didn't know whether or not Ashley had a mental health condition or a history of any mental health issues, but she did have her psychologist testify, but her psychologist is also her friend. So what are we supposed to think about this? I always thought maybe there is some kind of mental health component to why she would end her husband's life, especially with the firearm. I mean, there was no other alternative to leave the home, go to the park where her mother was. Like, how could this have been avoided? Let me put a disclaimer out here. I never want to discredit someone who claims or who states or who has been involved in a domestic violence relationship. I absolutely don't want to discredit anything that people like that say or that they know has happened to them. But my thing is, the police found Doug, and I guess the injuries, because we haven't heard yet, I guess his injuries were that he was facing away from her. So she shot him when he was away from her or facing away from her. So I don't know, you guys. I'm still on the fence about this one here, because I'm waiting to hear more about Ashley, more about Doug. You know, was there a mental health component for both of them? I don't know. So still a lot of unanswered questions. I'm still on the fence at this point. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, I thought I was done. Sorry, guys, but I had to add this other piece to it. So it also came up. The defense brought up the fact that Ashley had filed a restraining order against Doug while they were living in South Carolina. So if you remember, South Carolina was where Doug and Ashley met, but she ended up moving back to Florida, or to Florida, with her mother while she was pregnant and before she had their child. So he was trying to get the attorney, Mrs. Murphy, to state whether or not she knew about this restraining order, because the restraining order was in place prior to her taking Doug on as a client. Apparently, from what I've heard, it sounds like she knew about it. She knew about it because she sent an email on Doug's behalf to Ashley and her attorney on whether or not Doug could be there for the birth of their child, which is very reasonable. And the lawyer, or the defense attorney, wanted to know, did she do that as a favor for Douglas? Or did Douglas ask her to do that? Why wouldn't this man want to be there for the birth of his child? This is what I'm not understanding. Why was Ashley so adamant about Doug not being a part of their child's life? It makes no sense to me. But then the day that you end his life, he's helping you pack. He's helping you pack up, even though he's going to the same state as you. Ashley's mother inherited a home in Maryland, her childhood home, and so that's where they all decided to move to. She didn't know Doug was going to follow, but you invited this man, obviously, over to your home to help you pack. So I don't understand it all. Like, were you playing with this man's emotions with the child, toying with him? That's not okay. And I notice a lot of women do that. That's not okay to toy with a man's emotions, especially when it comes to his child, and he's trying to be there for the child and take care of the child, and probably financially supporting you. Y'all, this is a wild case. It's getting wilder, so we shall see what happens next.